Right. Hey guys, I am excited to be here with you tonight and just excited to share about something I would say has not always been my strongest suit, but like every day that goes by, I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at it. And so I'm going to share some stuff that probably is not going to feel like a brand new revelation, but I think it's an important reminder for all of us, including myself. Jotting some notes down even reminded me of a few people that I've wanted to reach out to. So I think most people can kind of understand just by the title what inviting people into the mission is. And we have two products really available. We have a awesome product line, but then we also have this business that's pretty spectacular. So I just wanted to start with kind of how when somebody reaches out to me or when I reach out to somebody and I'm inviting them into the mission, kind of how I share that with them or the type of question that I ask. And so I like to kind of get started right away and just tell people what I do, confidently tell people what I do. I can remember a time when I wasn't very confident about that. So now when people ask me what I do for a living, I let them know that I partner with like-minded people to create additional streams of income and help the people around us get healthier. We literally get paid to help other people get healthy. And that seems to be easy for people to understand. Your lingo is probably different from mine. That's just what's worked for me. It's easy for me to remember. I don't fumble over the words, all of that. So, but I kind of like to fit in some little things like-minded, that might perk somebody's interest. What am I looking for? Additional streams of income. That's a common theme that people, I think, of all different ages, different generations, different cultures understand that your income needs to come from more than one stream. And so, and our health is a pretty big topic right now for a lot of people, especially with the lovely coronavirus conversation. So anytime people can hear get healthier or healthy living or whatever in that genre, I think their interest is perked. So why do we need to invite people into the mission? Quite frankly, this isn't a business created to do by yourself. It's created to be done as a team. And I think most people recognize that doing a business like this is way more fun with a group of people. I have shared this with other people. I'm 33 years old, so I'm pretty young, but I've had a lot of different jobs. I've been working since I was probably 14. And I just have never really appreciated working with other people because it's always been kind of cutthroat and nobody's encouraging you or helping you on your way up. And I love that this business works very different because not only do you need people to move up, I've never had the excitement of cheering others on and being cheered on to accomplish things like I have in this business. So we need a team of people. And this style of business, direct sales and network marketing, is a numbers business. And so you need numbers. And that's why we invite people into the mission, right? Not everybody is going to say yes, but it is an opportunity available to everyone. Anyone who has $52, and if you don't have $52, you probably own something you could sell. $3. So I can remember Reagan saying that like years ago. So when people make that excuse to me, like, oh, I don't even have $52 to get started, her words are like ingrained in my brain. Like, well, what have you got that you could sell? Like, there has to be something, right? Everybody has something. So, other reasons besides helping ourselves, really what we're all here for, more than helping ourselves is really helping others. So why invite people? Well, because people are looking for extra money. They're looking for more flexibility. You know what? People my age and older and younger have mountains of credit card debt and college debt that is never going to get paid off with their 9-to-5 job. They know this, and they're looking for options to get that stuff paid off. And I think in general, the people I meet and chat with, that I get to do life with, they're just looking for a little bit something more out of life, more vacations, more freedom, more, more opportunities to say yes. And extra income definitely will help with that. So you're probably not wondering, oh, God. Let's see if, can you get that, Reagan? I don't even know how to. Thank you. So I don't feel like we should even have to really ask the question of who should we be inviting, because it's pretty clear that everybody should be invited to join our mission. And like I said before, not everybody's going to say yes. And that's okay. That's really okay. But we should be leading with the mission right alongside the product, and just giving people the opportunity to know that there's a great opportunity here. So although we should be asking everyone, I definitely lean towards having the conversation with people I have some kind of relational value with. And that's a lot more, that's quite a few more people than you probably even recognize. And when I start thinking about, all the conversations that I have, definitely there are more people than if I had to write them down, I would be like, wow, that's a lot of people. So if you're new here, welcome. And you've probably already made a list. That might have been one of the first things that your sponsor encouraged you to do, was make a list of all the people that you want to share Juice Plus with. When I did that myself 5 years ago, I put a little star next to the ones I called them my dream team people. They were the people that if I could hand pick anyone to work with, that's the beauty of this job. I get to pick who I work with, So I put a little star next to those names. And I did invite those people into the mission. A lot of them agreed and came alongside. But the difference now is I'm offering that right alongside the product with every person that I have the conversation with, because you just don't know, and you don't get to prejudge. I mean, you can prejudge. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you.
You know what, Ericka, that's such a great point, is to not prejudge. I know that when I first started, I was like, oh, they wouldn't be interested because they wouldn't be, and I had made up all these excuses for them instead of just asking them. And I remember I had one gal who I'm like, oh, she wouldn't be interested because she already works with another company. And then I thought, you know what, I'm just going to ask everybody, because if it made sense to me, it might make sense to them. And she was interested in Juice Plus, and she was health-minded. And I thought, I'm just going to throw it out there. And she goes, oh my gosh, yes, I hate the company I'm with. So you just never know, So that's a really good point, is to ask everyone.
I think it's easy to prejudge because, mostly out of fear. Because we're like, what if they are too cool for us? Whatever. You get over that pretty quick, I feel like. But I do understand. I can sympathize because I was there one day too. For those of us who have been around a while, maybe I've had this happen to me. Maybe you've gotten out of the habit of asking people, because selling the product to people, sharing the product, it's easy. It's a product that makes sense. I can share it pretty much every day without even thinking about it. It just happens. But so sometimes we have to be intentional to bring up the mission as well. But your raving fans, the person I just signed up has been taking the product for a while, and it just made sense to her. She's been telling everybody about what a great experience she's having. And I keep telling her every time she sends me another customer that, like, you need to join me. you could be getting paid for all of these people who are getting healthier. And she was finally ready. So if you've got a raving fan customer who is constantly just singing the praises of Juice Plus to you, there's a good chance that person would be a great fit for your team. They're already doing the work and just not getting paid for it. So what I will tell you is be persistent, not in an annoying way. But this girl that just signed up, actually, I have invited her 4 times to join the mission. Took 4 times, and then she finally was ready. So don't give up. Reagan, is that noise too loud for my tower garden?
Nope.
Okay, perfect. Just making sure. It's loud to me, so I didn't want it to be annoying. I did write in my notes that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And so when I was had first become a distributor, I made a real habit of just signing like a whole bunch of people up and selling it as like, just jump on board and buy it for the best price. Well, that's great. But then I had a bunch of people who weren't really doing a whole lot. And some of them were not people who even had the type of personality that I really wanted to spend a lot of time with. And so I learned to make a list of the characteristics, like the personality traits that I really appreciate. I love people who are hardworking. For whatever reason, Ellen Graham told me this when I first started, the busiest people do the most in this business. It's crazy. You think like the stay-at-home moms would do a ton because they have quote unquote so much free time, but it's the people working a couple jobs, fitting it into crazy schedules anyhow. So think about the things you really appreciate in another human being, and make a list of 3 to 5 things you really like. And then go find people that have those personality traits, because they'll be a riot for you to work with. When is the right time to invite somebody into the mission? Well, right now is the right time to be inviting into the mission. We've got a stinking awesome company, a great product that's been around for over 25 years, going strong, guys, but we have an even better compensation plan than we've ever had. The numbers are more simple. I'll admit it's jumbled my brain a little bit because I've been saying the same numbers for almost 5 years, and that's all shifted in 2020. But it's so simple that I think in the long run, we're going to be so grateful for what they have presented. This is the time to invite people into it. It's going to be really easy to explain how we're paid, the percentages and all of that. It's just, I feel like if ever was a time, now's the time. And I mentioned that it's a numbers game before. It's always been a numbers game, and it's not going to ever change from that. You need to talk to a lot of people. You need to offer the products and the mission to a lot of people. It's not going to be for everyone right now. But if you don't offer, then you're going to be way behind in the numbers. And so just understand and don't get hung up on, no, that person told me no. I've had a lot of people tell me no, and they come back years later and they're ready. So don't give up on people. The average NMD, I think, has 50 plus distributors direct to them. That's so right. For me, I'm like, I think I'm around 20 direct to me, which just tells me I got a lot of work to do and I need to get moving. So I'm just going to end with some conversation starters. If you're somebody who's uncomfortable, you feel a little uncomfortable with the conversation, I think, and we'll have plenty of time if anyone, wants to ask, Reagan can probably answer a lot of great questions that I might not be able to. But when I'm meeting with somebody, now this isn't the very first thing I say to them, but I like to ask people if they've had any experience with a network marketing or direct sales business. Get some kind of baseline. Somebody who's had like 3, 4, 5 different, direct sale businesses, maybe dig into, you know, what they liked or didn't like about that. But they're probably already a little comfortable with conversation. And those conversations for me tend to go pretty smoothly because the people have a little bit of a concept of how it works. I like to ask people what an extra $500 a month could do for their family. How would they spend an extra $6,000 a year? That's a lot of money to a lot of people, and it's pretty powerful. When you ask that question and somebody really thinks about what they do with it, that will tell you a lot about their heart and where their passion is. So I like to ask them what dreams they've put on the back burner. You know, are there things that they've always wanted to do that they're not doing or that they're not able to do because finances or there's, you know, job, you know, issues, or they don't have a flexible schedule, they don't have vacation time, whatever the case be. Maybe they want to take more vacations, they can't afford to. Maybe they would love to live, you know, debt free, and they just can't seem to get it under control. Maybe they just need to put some extra money in retirement, or they'd like to send their kids to private school, or maybe they want to do a little more in their community, you know, volunteer or give back, put a little extra in their tithe at church, whatever the case be. Just get an idea of what they do with the extra money if they had it. And then I do like to ask people for my own knowledge, you know, how much time are they willing to invest? If somebody wants $500 extra in their pocket every month and they only have 1 hour a week, that might not be a practical goal. Maybe it is, but maybe it's not. You know, if they want to make $1,000 and they want to do it with 30 minutes a week, whatever. It's just important, I think, to know if they're willing to invest their time and what that looks like for them. So just some conversation starters that you can use. And that's really what I have to share with you guys. So if you want to open it up, Reagan.
Yeah. What questions do you guys have? Thank you, Ericka. How are you guys feeling about inviting into your team? How are you doing with that? Or what do you need help with in doing that? I guess I should ask. You guys are all perfect, good to go?
I feel like it's just getting the confidence up to do it, you know? Like Ericka said, no one's going to be offended if you ask because somebody asked you, and here you are, you know? So that's something I just try to keep in mind, that it's flattering. I've been asked to join other companies as well, and it's flattering the person's thinking of you.
That's right. Good point.
That's a great point, Jenna. I would agree, because there are people who have come to me, they know I'm with Juice Plus, and they've said, if you ever leave that company, I'm recruiting you. And I'm like, don't worry, you'll never have to worry about recruiting me. But I'm taking that as a huge compliment. Thank you so much.
And when they're unhappy with their company, they can come join you.
Right on.
Yeah, it's just keep asking.
I feel like I get nervous because I feel like I stumble over my words and kind of look like an idiot. So I know it's just going to take practice, but I think sometimes that's what holds me back.
What is it that you're worried about?
I think I have an issue with people not liking me. I think that's definitely a personal problem.
You think people aren't going to like you because you ask them to join your team?
Yeah, I think I'm just worried about too much about what people think in general.
Well, what would they think?
I don't know, that I don't know what I'm talking about, or...
Do you know what you're talking about?
I feel like I do most of the time.
Well, then that's invalid, right? So, you know, so here's the thing. If you guys come across, when you invite somebody to take a, you know, first of all, we're asking somebody if they want to have the conversation, right? We're asking them to take a peek at it. We're not asking them to join our team. I have had so many times where I've sat down with somebody and said, you know what, this isn't going to be a good fit. Like I've told them no. So don't be afraid to you're the one that's hiring. You're going to be spending time with them, right? You're the one showing them. You're the one with the flashlight, right? They're in the dark. If they want to see, you've got the flashlight. So if you come across hesitant, people are going to start to think funny of you because you're acting weird, right? And what do? We share Juice Plus. We teach other people how to share Juice Plus. That's it. So there's nothing to be worried about. Either they want to share with their friends and family like we do, or they don't. It's pretty simple. So get over that. It's not about you. It's not about if they say yes or no. If it's not about rejection for you, it may just not be their thing. You know, it may not be the right time for them. And that's okay, but they might know somebody. And if you're loud and proud and excited about it, more likely that they're going to say, oh yeah, I want to take a look at it because you're not being weird, you know?
Yeah, good point.
Like it's a no-brainer. Like why wouldn't somebody, if you just look at your own order, you know, and they share with 2 other people, like it's silly not to have them join your team. Right?
Agreed.
So that's our job to show them the whole package. Like, it's like, look, you know what? I did this because, and since then this has happened and this is what I see for myself. So paint a little vision for them. And so I don't know if this would be for you, but you know, it's been a great experience for me. And I love that I get Juice Plus in my family, but I bet you know some other people who also have children or whatever it is you've been talking to them about. Would you be willing to be a resource for those people? If so, it would be worth it for you to take a look at what I'm up to. Okay. So loud and proud, guys, we get to do this. We don't have to do this. We're not embarrassed about it, right? So Ericka, I loved your questions. Do you have it? You know, have you had any experience with direct sales or network marketing company? That's a great question, you guys, because sometimes people have had a bad experience and you'd want to know that and be able to say, I'm so glad we're not like that. Or they might have said, no, I have no idea, nothing about it. So it kind of tells you where to go with them and you can give them the advantages to that, right? The other question she said, and I put these in the comments while she was talking so you guys could copy and paste those if you want. What would an extra $500 a month or $6,000 a year do for your family? You guys, that's people's car payments. That's half their rent sometimes, right? That keeps college kids out of having to do work study. How easy is it for us to get a recurring income stream of $500? Pretty simple. Do it
Absolutely.
right? So how many retirees? I mean, if you're, you know, somebody that's not a young mom like me, I'm an empty nester now. You know, how many people do you know that would love to have an extra $500 a month? I had a conversation over the weekend with somebody who's a teacher and she's going to be living on 75% of her income when she retires. How many people can live on 75% of their income? Right? So she's going to be talking to people about Juice Plus so she can replace that. And she's around a lot of children. So she's a perfect person to be able to share, right? So start thinking about it. What's in it for them? Okay, because that's what people are thinking. They're thinking, what's in it for me? So you want to let them know what's in it for them. Like, why would this be great for them? Not why would they be great for you, but why would this be great for them? Okay. So what else? What other questions do you guys have?
I don't have any questions. I just want to say thanks for reminding me, maybe some of you also, about writing down personality traits of people so that you know, so that you can spot those people when you're out there talking to people and ask the right questions too. I really like that. Thanks for that.
Awesome job, Ericka. Great call. I know we're a little bit over, but we have time for one more question if you guys. Nope. Okay, so here's the thing. If you have somebody, and like Beth, I know you're newer at this. If you've got somebody that says, yeah, I'm interested in taking a peek, that's the perfect time for you to get somebody else on the phone with you to help you with that. because you may not know kind of what's next. Like, what do I show them? And I love the Freedom Revolution. You guys, you can walk people right through all of that. You can send them right there and they can explore it. But the best thing to do is to do a three-way call and let somebody chat with them about, you know, what it is we do and ask them what they would be interested in. Jenna, out of everybody on our team, does more three-way calls with me than anybody. And she gets lots of new distributors. And we have a lot of fun, and we're pretty deadly together. We're pretty fun together. So you guys ask for those three-way calls. That's what we're here for, is to support you in building your team. And we're happy to help you have those conversations. And people love having those conversations together. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Ericka. That was awesome.
All right, get your guys' dream team lists together. Good job. And Ericka, you're the bomb. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for asking.
All right, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.